All right, let's start with our opening prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitam Astu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we gain strength together. May our learning shine forth in our lives. May we not find fault with one another. Om, peace, peace, peace. So this is the third and presumably final class in the series on Prakritim Paramam, the hymn of Swami Abhedananda on Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. And it's a profound hymn of really emphasizing, well, so many things, the Mother's grace, and I invite you to take a pamphlet so that you can follow along with what we're studying today. And I think the best thing we can do is to sing the hymn once together, right at the outset, and then we'll read through the whole translation, and then we'll look closely at the last 4 verses, because we've already gone through the other verses in our previous classes on this topic. So let's sing this hymn, and for those of you who hadn't been to the previous classes, we know that Swami Abhedananda composed this hymn to Holy Mother probably sometime in the 1890s, and he sang it before her also. After that, he went to America and didn't come to India until after, for more than a short visit, until after Holy Mother had left the body. So it must have been in the 1890s that he sang this hymn for her. Prakritim Paramam. Let's sing it together. Prakritim Paramam Abhayam Varadam Nararupadharam Janatapaharam Sharanagata Sevakatoshakarim Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam Gurnahina Sutan Aparadhayutan Kripayadya Samudhara Mohagatan Taranim Havasagara Parakarim Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam Vishayam Kusumam Parihrita Sada Charanam Buruhamrita Shanti Sudham Piba Bhringamano Bhavarogaharam Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam Kripam Kuru Mahadevi Suteshu Pranateshu Cha Charanashraya Danena Kripamayi namostute. Lajjapatavriti nityam Sarade jnanadaike papebhyo nah sadaraksha kripamayi namostute. Ramakrishna gata prana tannama shravana priyam tadbhavaranjitakaram pranamami muhurmuhu pavitram charitam yasya pavitram jivanam tatha pavitrata swarupinyai tasyai kurmo namo namaha. Devim prasannam pranatartiham trim yogindra pudyam yogadharma patrim tam saradam bhakti vijnana datrim daya swarupam pranamami nityam. Snehena badna simanosmadiyam doshana sheshan saguni karoshi ahetunano dayase sadosham svanke grihitva yadidam vichitram prasida matar vinayena yache nityam bhavasnehavati suteshu premaika bindum chiradagdha chitte vishincha chittam koruna sushantam. Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishna Jagadgurum Pada Padme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Let's read together Swami Tapasyananda's translation. To the divine Shakti embodied in human form, the giver of boons and dispeller of fear, who quenches the fire of misery and fills with joy the hearts of those who take refuge in her. To thee my salutations, O Supreme Being, O Mother of the worlds. Redeem thy children, bestowing thy mercy, full of faults, deluded and without merit as we are. A veritable ship ferrying us across the ocean of samsara art thou. To thee my salutations, O Supreme Being, O Mother of the worlds. Abandoning the flowers of worldly enjoyment, always drink, O honeybee of my mind, the nectar of eternal peace at the lotus of Mother's feet, the sure panacea for the disease of worldliness. To thee my salutations, O Supreme Being, O Mother of the worlds. Bestow thy grace, O great divinity, on us thy children, bowing in prostration before thee, and grant us shelter at thy feet, O compassionate one. To thee our salutations, the ever covered with the veil of modesty. Thou, O Mother Sarada, art really the power that bestows spiritual illumination on human beings. Protect us from sins evermore, O grace embodied, to thee our salutations. To her whose life is fused into one with Ramakrishna's, whose delight consists in absorption in thought and talk of his glory, whose personality is soaked and suffused with his spirit, to her our salutations. To her whose nature is sanctity, to her whose life is sanctity, to her who is the very embodiment of sanctity, to her I bow down again and again. To the gracious Mother Sarada, the embodiment of mercy and the grantor of devotion and knowledge, to her who is worshipped by the chief of yogis, to her who, with Sri Ramakrishna, has given a new revelation for the present age, and who assuages the miseries of devotees taking refuge at her feet. To her do I ever bow down in worship. Binding our mind to thee with the bonds of thy love, thou dost transmute our very vices into virtues. Compassionate as thou art, without any consideration of merit, thou dost, lo, take even unworthy ones into thy lap. Mother, be propitious and grant what I in humility beseech. May thou be ever affectionate to us, thy children, and casting even a drop of thy love on our long parched heart, render it cool and peaceful. Taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Mother, Sarada Devi, and Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world, I salute them again and again. A very powerful hymn. We see certain themes appearing again and again. This seeking of, there's pamphlets for those who have come. Did you get it? Okay. On the one hand, bowing down again and again, saluting, this doing pranam, which is, as we've talked about before, is really a part of Indian culture and not part of Western culture. Bowing down at the feet of a respected person or at the feet of the divine. And so we see that when we meet a respected, a holy person or even an elder in the family, we touch their feet or we even bow down at their feet. And that is called pranam. And it's just part of the Hindu mindset in India that we salute our elders. We show respect to our elders by bowing down. And we also learned that here in our temples, we bow down. Many of us find that it's actually a beautiful practice, a very helpful practice for cultivating devotion, humility, and surrender, taking refuge. When we bow down, we are completely helpless. We can't see. Our head is out front. If someone wants to, that would be the perfect time to cut off our head or give us a kick or something. So we are expressing our utter respect and trust. We are also expressing our trust, our reverence, our devotion. One of my mentors used to say that the practice of making pranam itself will bring about devotion in someone who doesn't have it, even if they don't know about it, even without them being aware of it. By doing pranam in a temple or a shrine, devotion will naturally start to awaken in their hearts. I love that idea. So we find that that's one aspect of this hymn, and describing Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi, of course, as the Supreme Mother of the universe in human form, and seeking her compassion, seeking her mercy, seeking her grace for our spiritual life, recognizing that we have limited power. Though from the Vedantic standpoint, Swamiji would say, all power is in you. Yes, all power is in me, no doubt about it. But gosh, it's really hard to manifest it. It's really hard to find it, isn't it? So when we feel powerless, when we feel like we're unable to manifest our power, then we turn to the divine. We turn it's so easy to turn to Mother because we feel, perhaps many of us feel especially close to Divine Mother. We can approach her and seek her grace. So we find these themes. So these themes will be reflected again in these verses. Let's now turn to verse number 8. You will have noticed as we're singing it that this hymn actually comes in 4 parts. The first part is the first 3 verses, where the closing line is the same. It's pranamami param jananim jagatam. O Supreme Mother of the worlds, pranamami, I bow down. I salute you, I worship you. And this is sung typically in, there's different melodies, but the one that we sang tonight is one of the most common. And it's sung with a tal, with a beat, and oftentimes the tabla or other rhythm instruments will be accompanying this part of the song. Then the next 4 verses are just open verse. There's no rhythm. And it has that plaintive mood of intense prayer. The very first words are kripankru in verse 4. Kripankru, be gracious, be merciful. Shed your compassion, your grace on us, O great goddess. And these lines also express it in the 5th line. Protect us always from making mistakes in life, from papa, which is sometimes translated as sin. Protect us from our own lower tendencies, shall we say. And the 6th verse, again and again I bow down to you. And you who are merged with Ramakrishna. And the 7th verse, you are holiness, you are purity, you are sanctity itself, and everything about you is pure. Again and again we bow down to you. Now, 8th verse. Devim, of course, Devi, the goddess, the Divine Mother, the Devi, prasannam. Prasanna is often translated as pleased, or benevolent, or gracious. So we're describing the Mother here as prasannam, as full of gracious, always ready to bless us, her devotees. And she is pranatarti hantrim. This is Sanskrit is a beautiful language. You can take the different words and bring them together to form a new word. So this is actually one word, pranatarti hantrim. You who are the hantrim, the destroyer of the arti, of the suffering of the pranata, those who are bowing at your feet. So destroyer of the sufferings of those who bow to her would be one way of translating that. Let's see, how did Tapasyananda's translation here is assuages the miseries of devotees, taking refuge at her feet. So that's the different ways of killer of misery in souls resigned is how Abhedananda translates it. So that, and even in her life, if we look back at Holy Mother's life and think about the incidents in her life, we see that to anyone who would call her mother, she could not deny them. She could not turn them away. There's that famous incident when she had prepared Sri Ramakrishna's nighttime meal, and she was about to bring it to his room, as was the custom. Every night she would bring Sri Ramakrishna's night meal to him and sit with him while he ate it. And one lady came to him and begged her, "Mother, please let me take the offering to Sri Ramakrishna tonight." And so she permitted it. Though she knew the lady had not led a very pure life, let's say, in her past, and so she had been, so Sri Ramakrishna, when she came, he was very displeased that Mother had allowed this so-called impure person to carry his meal to him. And he asked her, never do so again. But she was not willing to accede to his request. She said, if anyone calls me mother, I cannot turn them down. So, and we see also there are cases of people who came seeking initiation from her, who had done many mistakes in their lives. They had acted in very bad ways. They had a heavy load of karma, shall we say. And Mother, when she would initiate, she would free people of their karma. She would take that burden. The ordinary gurus can't do that. It's the divine gurus who can do that. So she refused. Sometimes she would refuse. People would come to her and ask her for initiation. She would refuse. But if they continued to beg of her, and then when they would weep, finally her heart couldn't bear it, and she would agree to initiate them. Saying that after all, why have we come? We have come here precisely for this purpose, to lift people up, to raise them up, to spread spirituality. And the saints don't need the grace of someone like Holy Mother. They already are so advanced. It's the people who are fallen. And she would say, for instance, there was one of her disciples who afterwards, sometimes the village society was quite constrained, and the problem of young widows who were expected to lead a perfectly pure monastic life. Say the children were married at the age of 10, even 5, 7, 9, 10. They were betrothed to someone. And then, of course, the marriage would only be consummated later when they became adults. But sometimes, if the husband died, that was it. It's over. No marriage for you then. So a young girl is married at the age of 5 or 7 or 10, and then 2 years later her husband dies. She has never known, she's never had a husband proper, and she's expected to lead a monastic life. And so sometimes, after all, human beings are human beings. They would have some romantic entanglement with a young man. And this was considered of a great sin, of course, in the villages. And so one young man, her disciple, had gotten involved with a young widow like that. And the close disciples of Mother, her attendants, say, don't let him come near you. He's fallen. And she said only, if a child falls in the dirt, it's the mother's responsibility to pick him up, clean him off. So she would never forbid anyone to enter her presence like that. So that's the grace of the Mother. Prasannam pranatarati hantrim, who takes away the suffering. And how she does that we probably see that really through granting spiritual illumination. Our suffering ultimately is rooted in ignorance of who we truly are, ignorance of the divine. And so by granting the devotion, granting that wisdom, she removes the suffering. But she would, when she was in the body, she would pray intensely for the devotees for the specific external circumstances in which they found themselves, that were the difficulties they found themselves in. And devotees throughout, since time immemorial, have been approaching the divine, seeking for help in their lives, for illness, for poverty, for seeking something in their lives. And we feel that Mother is so gracious, she's always ready to grant even those things. So we approach Mother, and she removes, we bow down at her feet, we take refuge in her, and she removes our misery, our suffering. Yogindra Pujyam. So Yogindra means the great yogis, the king of the yogis. Pujam, worshipped. Puja, of course, is worship. So pujam, worshipped by. So worshipped by Yogindra, the king of the yogis. Now I've seen two translations here actually. One, it means by great yogis have worshipped her. Sri Ramakrishna himself, who was the Mahayogi, one of the great yogis of the spiritual history of the world. He worshipped her. Swami Vivekananda, another great yogi, worshipped her. Swami Abhedananda, many of these great yogis worshipped Holy Mother. So that is, and continued to worship her. Also, the Swami Yogananda, Sri Ramakrishna's, one of Sri Ramakrishna's monastic disciples, his pre-monastic name was Yogindra. So sometimes it's felt that actually the song might be referring specifically to it's often called Yogindra, who was actually, though we call him Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, but he received his mantra from Holy Mother herself. And he was the first sevaka, the first attendant, servant, as it were, of Holy Mother. So perhaps here we can understand both meanings, that Abhedananda is referring also to this Swami Yogananda. Here it says only by Yogindra worshipped, O Mother kind, in Abhedananda's translation. So it could be that he's also referring to the great devotion and care that Yogindra took in looking after Holy Mother. Let's see, Yogindra Pujam, Yuga Dharma Patrim. Yuga, this age, Dharma. So the teaching, the religious teaching, the guidance for this age, you are the Patri. Patri, Patra is a vessel, and this is in the feminine form because Patri. So in a sense, you hold the Yuga Dharma. It's said that every Yuga has its own Dharma, every age has its own, Sanatana Dharma is eternal. The principles of Vedanta and of all the religions are for all time. But how that manifests in every age, that manifests differently. And Sri Ramakrishna came specifically to spread the teachings that we think of when we think of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, like the motherhood of the divine, the primacy of God realization as the goal of life, the harmony of religions, the essential ingredient in spiritual life being yearning, all these kind of teachings. So these kind of teachings. So Sri Ramakrishna has established this Yuga Dharma for this age, and established himself as a doorway into the infinite. And so Holy Mother here is seen as, because she really is, she continued his ministry after he left the body. He left very early, 1886, and she continued, and he, even under his instruction, she knew that she had to, as Sri Ramakrishna said, the people in Calcutta are like worms squirming in the darkness. Do something for them. So she did something for them. So let's see, the translation by Tapasyanandaji here is, to her who with Sri Ramakrishna has given a new revelation for the present age. A new revelation for the present age. This translation, this is a commentary by Swami Harshananda. Since the Lord comes down in every age for the protection of Dharma, the religion, she too comes as his consort and helps him in the accomplishment of that purpose. So it can mean vessel. Abhedananda has translated as a protector, savior of religion in every age. So these are some of the ideas of Yuga Dharma Patrim. Then a plaintive request. Well, not a request here, but more describing Tam Saradam, Sri Sarada Bhakti Vijnana Datrim. The giver of, Datrim is giver of what? Bhakti and Vijnana. She grants both devotion and that highest knowledge, not just jnana. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, and you can turn to Swami Abhedananda for a lengthy discussion of Vijnana, of course, but Sri Ramakrishna used to say to know without a doubt that milk exists is jnana. But to drink milk and be nourished by it, that is Vijnana. To know without a doubt that the divine reality is and is the basis of our being, that is jnana. But to enter into communion with that reality, to talk with God and hear God's responses, that is Vijnana, a deeper knowing. So it's Mother who grants knowledge and devotion both. Tam saradam bhakti vijnana datrim daya swarupam pranamami nityam. Nityam, eternally, ever, pranamami, I bow down at your feet, ever, you who are the very embodiment of compassion. This theme returns again and again in this hymn, and when we study Mother's life, we also see that this theme returns again and again, her overflowing compassion. Like when the crazy sister-in-law of Holy Mother was about to beat a cat, and Holy Mother said, don't beat the cat. And the crazy sister-in-law, she said, oh, stop. I don't remember exactly the words, but insinuating, you already have shown enough mercy to human beings. Why do you also have to show mercy even to the cat? And she emphasized that no, my compassion is for all beings, not only human beings, but even animals. And woe unto that being who does not have my compassion. So that's Holy Mother's universal compassion. So that's why she's described here as of the very embodiment. Swarupa is one's own form. Swa, oneself, rupa, form. So one's own form, one's true nature, what is compassion. She is the very embodiment of compassion. Dayasvarupam pranamami nityam. That's verse number 8. Before I go on, any questions or comments about this verse? Or anything else we discussed? We have the mic and the bearer of the mic. Yeah. Can't hear you. Bring the mic, quick.
Svarupam, the ending
Svarupam.
Of Svarupa.
Yeah, that's the. It should be.
What voice is that?
That should be. We can ask our Sanskrit scholar. It should be the accusative, second case ending. She who is the very embodiment of compassion. I'm bowing to her. So that's why it's accusative. The receiving we're offering our pranams to her. Very often the pranams will also take fourth case ending, but here is second case ending. Dayasvarupam pranamami nityam. Okay. Let's go to the next verse, which is Snehena badnasi mano asmadiyam. The apostrophe means that's means actually it's there's an there that gets elided. So snehena, by affection, by affection. Sneha is affection. So through, you can say by affection or through affection, badnasi, you bind, you tie us. You tie us through affection. Who is that? Manaha, our minds. Asmadiyam, our. Asmadiyam is our, so our minds. You bind us through affection. And then this doshan, these faults that we have, these we have many faults. Asheshan, all complete without any remainder. Saguni karoshi. Saguni, you turn them into good qualities. You turn them into blessings, as it were. Our faults you turn into blessings. Karoshi, you do. We who are full of faults, you transform us completely. You completely transform us and turn our faults into blessings. The same line, the same idea comes in Swami Vivekananda's hymn to Sri Ramakrishna, Om Hring Ritam. In the 4th verse, he says, Krityam karoti kalusham. Krityam, that which is to be done, that good thing, a good act. Karoti, you do, you transform. Kalusham, that wrong action, that sin, that demerit. You turn it into krityam. You turn the sinners into saints, as it were. So, snehena badnasi manosmidyam doshana sheshan saguni karoshi. So, on the one hand, you bind our minds to you. There's no object given. To whom are we bound? We are bound to Mother through affection. Our minds are bound to her through her tremendous affection. And she transforms us. Her grace has a transformative power. Those qualities which are, and there's a nice way of thinking about this also, that, yes, we have faults, but say we have the fault of anger. That has a tremendous power to it. So that can be transformed into a tremendous zeal for spiritual life. Say we have, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, turn the passions to God. Say we have the problem of finding fault with others, and so Holy Mother would say, rather learn to see your own defects, but not to dwell on them, of course, but to give them up, to transcend them, to go forward. And reach the Mother. Okay, so then ahetu means cause. So ahetu means causeless, without any cause. Ahetu na, that means, because it's instrumental case, it means without cause. Dayase. Dayase means you show mercy to us who are sadoshan. We are with doshas, with faults. So here emphasizing the causeless compassion, which is really what we mean when we say grace, isn't it? Grace is that which is unconditional. There's no conditions for it. I'm not... the divine doesn't show mercy to you, but not to you, because God doesn't like that wart on your nose, so he's going to withhold the grace from you or something. There's no conditions. We have conditions. We like some people, we don't like other people. Some people we rub us the wrong way. Some people we find to be, and so we don't love everybody equally, right? But the divine love is unconditional. The divine grace is unconditional. Loves all beings equally. So that means that's a very exalted. If we too can attain to that station where we can see the divine shining in every heart and have equal compassion for everyone, Holy Mother obviously embodied that. Not that she didn't have special affection for her intimate disciples and the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, her sons who were spiritual giants themselves. She had special attachment and affection for those people, but her mercy and compassion was for everyone, unconditionally and falling equally on all hearts. The thing is, of course, that we also have to prepare our hearts to receive that compassion. As Sri Ramakrishna used to say, the wind of grace is always blowing. It's always blowing. But if we want to sail our boat, we have to set the sail to catch that wind. So that's the work of starting to purify our hearts, of doing sadhana, of prayer and japa, meditation, noticing our defects where we can improve in our lives, noticing where we can be a little more kind in our daily lives, be a little more forbearing, all those kind of things. So Gunika Roshi, ahetu nano daise sadoshan, swanke grihitva. Swanke means in your lap. Grihitva, taking us in your lap. Yadidam vichitram. Yadidam, this fact that you take us in your lap, you who are of unconditional grace and mercy, and who turn our faults into virtues and tie us with the bonds of affection, that is vichitram. It is amazing. It is wonderful. It's even paradoxical. It's incredible. How amazing is it that we who are full of faults and you take us up in your lap, you of infinite compassion without any limits, and turn all those faults into virtues, tying us forever to you with that bond of affection. That is incredible and amazing. So that is the meaning of this vichitram. Let's see what our Swami Harshananda says here. Oh, here he's not given much about this particular point. He said, through tie of love divine, bound thou hast the hearts of ours, granting e'er thy lap benign. O wonder how thy mercy showers. By grace hast thou made us holy, to virtue changed our endless folly. So that's another translation. It's interesting to see how different people translate. That's Abhedananda's translation, actually. Oh wonder how thy mercy showers. Okay, now the any comments or questions on this 9th verse? We'll move on to the 10th verse, which is really the final verse. The last verse is a kind of pranam mantra, as it were. So this 10th verse is the penultimate verse, but also sort of wraps everything up. Prasida. Okay, so this now it's a prayer. This prayer, prasida, be gracious, be merciful to us. Prasida. In the Chandi also we find this prayer comes to Divine Mother. Prasida, Devim prasannam. Devim. It's not coming to mind. Anyhow, prasida mataha, O Mother. Mataha is the evocative, and it becomes matar because of the sandhi. The sandhi transforms the letters as they come together with other letters. So mataha becomes matar. Prasida, be gracious, O Mother. Vinayena. Vinayena is with humility. With humility. Yache, this is the first person singular of I beg. I'm begging you, Mother, I'm begging you, be merciful. I'm with great humility, I'm begging you, be merciful. Prasida matar vinayena yache. Nityam, ever, always. Nityam bhava, be. You always be snehavati. You always be snehavati will mean full of sneha. Snehavat is full of sneha. When we have this vat, it means full of something, of manifesting that. So snehavat, snehavati, you who are, so be ever snehavati, full of love, full of compassion for us, who are suteshu, towards your children, towards all your children. That's the plural, suteshu. Sons, literally sons, but we take it to mean to all your children. Prasida matar vinayena yache nityam hava snehavati suteshu. I'm begging you, O mother, be gracious, humbly beseeching you, ever be full of affection to your sons. And then this last image, prema eka bindum. Prema eka bindu. A bindu is a drop. One drop. Bindu is drop. And prema is love, of course, that supreme divine love. Eka bindum. One drop of prema. Oh mother, one drop. Prema eka bindum. One drop of your love. Chira dagdha chitte. In our chitta, in our minds or in our hearts, here is better translated as hearts, in our chira dagdha, our ever burning hearts, our hearts which chira, since time immemorial, our hearts are being scorched, lifetime after lifetime. Chira dagdha, dagdha is burned. This long scorched heart, you could say. Vishinja chittam. Vishinja, sprinkle one drop. If you would just sprinkle one drop of your love on this ever burning heart of mine, sprinkle it chittam in the heart, then, and kuru, do that. And what happens to us? Naha, we attain sushantam, we attain that peace. So the closing prayer here is, Mother, all I need is one drop. All I need is one drop of your love. And in fact, this is true. All we need is one drop of Mother's love. That is enough for this small vessel to fill us and make us completely satisfied. We don't need the whole ocean. As Ramakrishna used to say, when I go to the tavern, one glass of wine is enough for me. I'm drunk after one glass of wine. What need have I to know how many gallons of wine there are in the cellar of the tavern? One glass is enough for me. One drop. Premaika bindum. So this is this beautiful prayer. Premaika bindum. Chiradagdha chitte vishinja chittam guruna sushantam. Grant us that peace. Grant us your peace. By our hearts, which are scorched with the fire of worldly desire, with the fire of suffering in this world, lifetime after lifetime. This is the struggle to eat, to get food, to get money, to get along with people. How many wars are going on? How much difficulty we have in this world, all due to the lack of love. And if we can get that one drop of Mother's love, that will bring true peace to our hearts. So this is the closing prayer that Abhedananda gives in this moving hymn. And then, let's see, Abhedananda's translation here is, be loving and gracious to thy sons, O Mother, I humbly beseech. Sprinkle in their hearts arid a drop of love to enjoy peace. Well, it's okay. Translation is Here, this is Harshanandaji gives this translation. O gracious mother, I beg you humbly with all my heart and soul, be gracious unto these children of yours for ever and anon. Their hearts have grown dry, being scorched by countless worries of the worldly life over millions of births. But those very hearts will be soothed and bathed in eternal peace, if only you can just sprinkle a drop of your immortal love. So that is the 10th verse. And then the 11th verse is actually a very well-known pranam mantra, which we use oftentimes at the end of pujas. We use this. At the beginning of talks, many of the swamis use this. And it encompasses it's a dual pranam mantra to Holy Mother and Sri Ramakrishna together, it's a unique pranam mantra in that way, that it's Jananim Saradam Devim. Janani is the mother. To the mother, Jananim, the universal mother, Sarada Devi, and to Ramakrishnam because it's a second case ending, accusative, to Ramakrishna, Jagad Gurum, the teacher of the world. A Jagat Guru is a teacher of the world, a world teacher, who has come for all. Pada Padme, Pada, the feet, Padma, lotus, Padme, locative, at the lotus feet, Tayo, Shritva, at those, Shritva, having taken refuge. Pranamami, I bow down, muhur, muhur, again and again. Let's see. So tayo means actually of those two, of the Padapadme tayo, of those two, the lotus feet of both Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, having taken refuge. So we take refuge in, this is a verse both of expressing this idea that we take refuge at the lotus feet of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, and salute, bow down again and again. So that concludes our study, our very imperfect study. Whenever I sing this song, at the end of it, I feel like, gosh, I wish there were some more verses. This is so beautiful to me, both the melody and especially the ideas expressed. And I wish that there were a few more verses that we could go on singing for another 5 minutes or something. But this is what it is. It's 11 powerful verses of salutation, of expressing Abhedanandaji's deep insight into who is Holy Mother as the universal mother, embodying universal compassion, embodying the power to awaken us from the sleep of ignorance, and also expressing this intense prayer for her grace, that we may taste the real peace, which is the Mother's infinite love. It kind of, we can see how it's interesting to contrast the third verse, which is actually instructions to the singer's own mind. Oh, honeybee of my mind, give up drinking that those worldly pleasures in the flowers of worldliness. And give up those and go to the lotus feet of the Mother, where you will drink the nectar of immortality, the nectar of eternal peace. And then here we have it sort of turned around. So on the one hand, the third verse says, oh, honeybee of my mind, go and seek that eternal peace which is flowing at the Mother's feet. And this verse, which is, oh, Mother, now you grant us one drop of that nectar in our hearts, because we are unable to find it. So, comments, questions, thoughts, objections? Well, I can read something inspiring for the close, because if I can find that document, I hope I can find it. Swami Abhedananda wrote he used to. Some of his letters have been collected and published, and one of the letters to one of his disciples, he talks about Holy Mother, and I will read an excerpt from that letter. And interestingly, this letter indicates that he had given the disciple the name of Holy Mother as his mantra. So this is the letter of Abhedanandaji, written much later, of course. This hymn was, as I suggested, probably composed in the 1890s. This is 1932, 12th March 1932. You have inquired who Sri Sarada Devi is, and why I have given you the mantra dedicating you to her, etc. If you pray to the Holy Mother, then she will explain the answer to you in meditation. Ram Prasad sang, "Who knows who Kali is? The 6 systems of philosophy cannot envisage her." Shiva went mad in trying to understand her nature. Then he quotes a song. Thou art with form to the seekers who contemplate on thee as with form. Thou art formless to the seekers who contemplate on thee as without form. Some say that Brahman is luminous. Thou art that too, O Tara, existing through the 3 kalas, the 3 times, the creation, the preservation, and destruction. The limit up to which one's idea goes is called Para Brahman, the Supreme Brahman. Beyond that is the ineffable Turiya. Thou art that too, O Tara, pervading the 3 lokas, the cosmic, the terrestrial, and subterranean space. So he's quoted a song, and then he goes on, if you understand this, then you will know who Sri Sarada Devi is. You cannot apprehend this merely with intellect. Just as fire and its burning power are inseparable, so Brahman and Maya are inseparable. Sri Sri Thakur, referring to Ramakrishna, Sri Sri Thakur and Sri Sarada Devi are inseparable. Maya is that divine energy manifested in us as knowledge and ignorance that is as pure and impure mind. Okay, manifested in us as knowledge and ignorance that is as pure and impure mind. So Maya manifests both as knowledge and ignorance, as pure mind and impure mind. Ignorance has 2 powers, namely to cover and to delude. Then quoting again, thou art the one nature, Prakriti, who veils Brahman, and who, as Mahamaya, the great deluding power, enchants the 3 worlds, etc. Without the grace of Sri Sarada Devi, worldly delusion and attachment do not go. Discrimination, that means viveka, discernment, and dispassion do not arise, and the discerning eye of knowledge does not open. For all this, it is necessary to propitiate her. Through her grace, she will unveil Sri Sri Thakur. It is necessary, therefore, to pray for her grace. Profound instructions from Swami Abhedananda. That if we, at least we who are seeking Sri Ramakrishna, he suggests, pray to Holy Mother, and she will unveil Sri Ramakrishna for us. This reminds us, of course, of the other, the tradition in Vrindavan. Is what is on everybody's lips in Vrindavan, not the birthplace, but the place of Sri Krishna's Leela. You think everybody's chanting Krishna, Krishna. No. everybody says Radhe, Radhe. On everybody's lips is Radhe, the feminine aspect of the divine. So everybody is seeking Krishna in Vrindavan, but they're all calling on Radha. And Sri Ramakrishna himself, before he could have the vision of Rama, he had the vision of Sita. So this is a hint that Abhedananda is giving to us, that we can approach the mother. And we have this beautiful hymn to help us do it. Let me suggest that we'll just reflect silently for a couple of minutes together, and then we'll close with this pranam mantra. We can chant it together, Jananim Saradam Devi. Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadne Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Taking shelter at the lotus feet of the mother, Sri Sarada Devi, and Sri Ramakrishna, the world teacher. We salute them, we bow down again and again. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishnaarpanam Astu. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you one of my very favorite sacred hymns and go into it a little more deeply. It's a wonderful opportunity.